let's do it. Let's do it.
What is going on? What is going on? What is going on, you guys? It's your boy Joe Castro, aka Philly Fresco. Another show, man. Another video. I don't even know what to say. It's Philly the podcast. Yeah, I know what time it is. So today I want to talk, like the title says, I want to give you guys 3 easy fixes that I feel like the Philadelphia Eagles can do to go ahead and be that Super Bowl champ that we all know that they are. Now, look, the Eagles went out and got Kevin Byard. I love that pickup. I mean, we were looking at Justin Simmons. We were looking at Jeremy Chin. Byard is a product of Philadelphia, right? He's from Philly, so he knows the city. He knows what it takes to be out here, not only as a person, but a player, someone that has to, live up to expectations. The Eagles want to be something, and I think he wants to be it as well. Gives him a chance late in his career to kind of go out there and get a ring. We do have him under contract for not only this year, but next year, possibly an extension, happens. We'll see what happens. I know that, the Philadelphia Eagles love to get the most out of their players. Kevin Byard came here for pretty damn cheap. 5th and a 6th round pick, I believe it was, and then we had to go ahead and give up Terrell Edmunds. It sucks to see Terrell Edmunds go. I don't think he was that good, but it just sucks because I think he was a good guy, in the locker room. We saw him at the Phillies games and stuff like that. So someone to buy into the team and the concept of what this team is big, and it sucks to lose that because I think that they were forming relationships. They were becoming friends. But on the other hand, we got ourselves a dog. But that's not what we're going to talk about. Maybe if this was 2 or 3 days ago, that would have been the main topic. We would have been sitting here saying, go get yourself a safety. Go get yourself a safety. But I think he heard all of us. So shout out to Howie Roseman. I'm never going to hate on Howie Roseman for doing what the heck he needs to do. Now, before we get into all that, do exactly what the scroll down there says. Be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe button, share it with your friends, comment away. Let me know what you guys want to see next. But first thing I want to talk about, man, is look, this defense has been our glue, right? This defense has been our bread and butter. We would be lost right now. We would have more losses, right? But we would be lost if this defense was not playing to the level that they are. You look at Brandon Graham barely getting snaps, but still making impact. You look at guys like Jalen Carter coming in and making an immediate impact. Fletcher Cox making an immediate impact again. You can go down the list. Hassan Reddick, Josh Sweat looks better. Jordan Davis looks better. Everybody on this defense, we can go to the secondary. Reed Blankenship, when healthy, has looked really, really good. The secondary now obviously gets that injection of just premier talent. I mean, you look at Kevin Byard, he's a 2-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro. We know what we're getting out of him. I think 2 years ago, he led the league in interceptions. So we're hoping he gets some of that Michael Jordan secret juice, you know what I'm saying? And he can kind of get a little fountain of youth going. But we've looked really good defensively. And yeah, last game we were able to see a little bit of Nolan Smith. Every game I feel like we see a little bit of Nolan Smith. But he showed out in all of his snaps. I feel like he's showing that he is getting better each week. He's understanding what he has to do as not only just a rotational guy, but a guy that wants to play more snaps. So look, my first thing is let's get Nolan involved. 43 snaps so far this year just isn't enough for me. I understand that it's a long season. You want to slowly integrate him into the defense, but now is time. Now is time to really get him going. And 4 tackles, 1 sack, 1 QB knockdown, 2 pressures. It's not terrible, man. Not terrible, especially when you look at some of these snaps. All 43 of his snaps were definitely not pass rush snaps. It feels like when you let him go off the edge, when you let him just go back in the backfield and create havoc, that's what he does. The guy was pretty darn good when he was playing in college. Let's get my man involved. I think that this would really boost not just our defense, but that defensive line, right? That if you can add a guy like a Nolan Smith and maybe subtract a guy like Derek Barnett, I think you're going to get way more production out of Nolan Smith. I know that I've said time and time again that I felt like Derek Barnett has been productive. He just hasn't been this year. I've seen a lot of people saying that he's doing cardio, and he basically is. I mean, he's out there collecting a free check. I think it's time to go ahead and get Nolan Smith involved, see what the kid can do. And my biggest thing is, if you don't get him involved now, if you don't go out there, put him out there now, see what he can do, when are you going to do it? You're going to do it in the playoffs. You're going to possibly, mess with this, what do you want to, the cohesion, the just you want to mess with what we got going. If it's not broke, don't fix it. But now is the time to really see what these young guys can do. You got to see what Sidney Brown can do in extended snaps. You've gotten to see what Eli Ricks can do in extended snaps. I think it's time for a Nolan Smith, and shout out to Eli Ricks. Eli Ricks looked really good. I know a guy that has been saying that Eli Ricks was that guy. I'm not gonna toot my own horn, but toot. So anyways, the next thing I want to talk about, and this is something that I think a lot of people have talked about, and if they aren't, they're gonna start talking about it because it has not looked good this year, and that's gonna be the red zone efficiency, man. Red zone efficiency has to get better. We have to get better at this. It has been ugly. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. Now, there is a split. When I was looking at this and I was kind of going through the numbers, I was kind of surprised to see this split. Now, you see the red zone efficiency overall is 50%. The last game we were at 66.67. Overall at home, we've been at 66.67. So we've been a little bit more successful at home. In away games, we're 37.5. That's absolutely gas. That's absolutely terrible. I don't know, and I'm going to be 100% honest with you. This is probably the hardest of the three easiest fixes, but I don't know what you got to do. Maybe it's not run QB sneaks every 5 plays. Maybe it's, don't hand the ball off to Kenny Gainwell. Maybe it's utilize DeAndre Swift a little bit more. Maybe utilize Julio Jones. A lot of people have said to me, oh, Julio Jones is a red zone target. He's a big guy. What do you think A.J. Brown is? You got A.J. Brown. You've had A.J. Brown here. I don't understand why he's not being utilized. I don't understand why Dallas Goedert is not being utilized in the red zone far more often. We'll start here, okay? And I think that this is something all Eagles fans can agree with. Let's start here. Let's just never, ever do a QB sneak in the red zone again. Let's never do that. QB draw in the red zone, let's never do that again unless you're on the 1-yard line. You want to do the brotherly shove. I'm all about that. You piss off the rest of the NFL with it. So I love it. But QB draws on 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, I just don't get it. Handing the ball off to Kenny Gainwell in the red zone on 3rd and 5, I have no idea why you do that. I truly don't. Maybe I'm missing something. You guys let me know in the comments. Maybe I'm bugging by saying this, but I feel like you have the players here to get it done. You truly do. Obviously, adding a guy like Julio Jones helps, but you have A.J. Brown here. You have Julio Jones. You have Dallas Goedert. You got guys like Jack Stoll. I mean, you got guys like Rashad Penny. Why not use him? He's a little bowling ball. You got Boston Scott, who's proven to be effective in the red zone. It just doesn't make sense. I totally understand that Kenny Gainwell is definitely a good pass blocker, and you have to show other looks when you're putting him out there. You can't just have him pass blocking every single time he gets a snap, because then people would know, right? People would understand, hey, this is probably a pass play. They got Kenny G out there. You can't do that. I get that. I totally understand that. Okay, now let's move off that. Why are we doing these QB draws? That's my biggest thing. So we have to figure this out. Like I said, at home, 66.67%. It's kind of weird that it's such a big difference between home and away. I don't know if they're calling plays differently, or maybe just the QB draws work even less when we're away. But this is something that, while I don't think it's an easy fix, obviously you're going to have to draw some things up. You're going to have to figure some new schemes out to, get successful in that red zone. I do feel like you have the personnel to go ahead and get it done. So Brian Johnson, I need you to hear this. Stop with the damn QB draws, because I'm tired of them. I am so tired of them. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is, honestly, look, my girl was like, we need to get more involved with the running game. And I was going to use that. Shout out to my girl. She was like, I want to see us run more. We are 3rd, I believe, in rushing attempts per game at like 33 rushing attempts per game. The last 3 games, we've been a little bit lower, around 31%, but we're top 5 in rushing yards per game. We are using this running game. I really can't, in good conscience, say that that's one of the top 3 things we have to fix. I do want to see it utilized more effectively and more, picking your spots. I feel like, again, don't use Kenny Gainwell in the red zone. But when you're starting games off, last game I really liked that against the Dolphins. They kind of went run heavy in the beginning of the game, and throughout that game, it felt like they were really committing to their run game. I would love to see more of that. But the thing I need to see, and look, people are going to be like, don't hate on Jalen, but I'm going to hate on Jalen. Jalen needs to cut down on turnovers. It's simple as that. And I went a little bit deeper to kind of, show where we are really struggling. Obviously, it's the interceptions. We're giving up more than an interception a game, 1.1 interceptions per game. That's 28th in the NFL. That is not good. We're fourth in fumbles given away per game at 0.7. It's not that big of a difference between every other team. So it's not like we're fumbling the ball every single play, but we do definitely need to get a little bit better at that. Again, Jalen Hurts obviously gave up one last week. So not what you want to see. The interception, that he threw for the touchdown that they brought back was 7 of their only 17 points. So, it's not what you want to see. You definitely want to get better. We're 21st in giveaways, which is ghastly. We're 21st, and that's 1.6 per game. And a little asterisk that I want to add to that is that the defense has produced 1.3 takeaways per game. So we're giving the ball away 0.3 more times than we're actually taking it away. And 1.3 is not bad. 1.3 is not bad at all, and it's not a terrible number. I think we're right in the middle of the league. I could be wrong about that. I think we're like 16th, 17th. Not bad, but if you're not giving up the ball as much as we have, goes right into the next one. 18th in turnover differential at -2. That makes a big difference. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I do feel like when this happens, when you're turning the ball over at a crazy rate like we are, it's going to affect you at some point. At some point, you're going to lose a game. We lost to the Jets because of it. Honestly, I thought that if we did the same thing against the Dolphins, we would have lost the game, but we were able to, defensively really just, we slaughtered them defensively. So shout out to the defense for that game. But some of those turnovers could have really killed us, man. And Jalen Hurts needs to protect that ball, whether it's taking sacks, whether it's getting out of the pocket, throwing the ball away faster, whether it's whatever the hell it is. It needs to happen because this is very alarming. This is very worrisome. I think that the Eagles, again, have the people in place to get this right. I'm not saying it's the end of the world, but I do think that this is something that Eagles fans and Eagles personnel need to look at, man, because I'm not trying to deal with this all year. So you guys let me know in the comments, man, what do you think is the most important for the Philadelphia Eagles to go ahead and fix? What do you think will happen if they fix it? And do you even think that they have the players in place to fix it? I think that's the biggest question mark, right? Like, do they have the guys that they need to go out there and be better at what they, are lacking at right now? But let me know in the comments. Be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe, join the family. I appreciate all you guys. Hopefully I see you guys tomorrow morning, Philly Morning Joe. Bring your coffee, same Philly Morning Joe time, Philly Morning Joe place. That was very corny. I need to get the heck out of here. But y'all know what it is, man. It is Fly Eagles Fly, and we are out here. Peace!
Eagles fans everywhere, this is for you!
Fly Eagles flying on the team. Touchdown, time to get Jalen this ring. You don't really want to start a thing. This a bird game nation, baby. It's a Philly thing. Hater, and you looking like you type trash. I'm just here calling on Philly the podcast. And we can call a man dog or watch Miles score off the handoff. Rest of the division, your man saw Jackson like Sean, hunting like Randolph. Season here, early time to do them in. Your boy Philly Fresco. Thanks for tuning in.